Welcome back everyone to the LEC prediction series, where today we are going to be covering round 2 of the playoffs. We have technically 3 games on the docket, but we can only cover 2. But before we get into them, let's go over the results from last weekend. Pure and simple, nice and breezy. 3 out of 3 best of 5s went our way, with 1 perfect prediction. Not much more needs to be said than that. So let's get into our first series, which is going to be Fanatic taking on Misfits. Gonna be brutally honest, Misfits got destroyed by G2, and I expected it, if you couldn't tell. They picked up 1 game against the Samurais, and you know, that was more than I expected of them. And the reason I didn't expect much against G2 was G2 become absolutely insane during playoffs. They bring their unique styles and takes of the meta, and it makes them very hard to beat. Misfits learnt that, and Misfits as a whole, I don't think when they get to playoffs, tend to thrive as much as other teams. Now they sit in the lower bracket against a Fanatic who had a very rough series against XL, and they were on the brink of losing. XL were knocking on the Nexus in Game 3, but Fanatic clawed. They scraped back to reverse sweep the XL lineup, who kind of basically threw that series away. So, coming into this game, there's a lot at stake, and you know the bot lane's where the focus yet again will be. Neon versus Upset. Upset has put his team on his back, and I like how Fnatic have adapted to this meta and how they're attacking each team. If you're yet to see my teamfight breakdown, or it's not out yet, basically what it covers is how the draft targeted Patrick out from the Fnatic side of things and allowed them to capitalize by getting the most contentious bot lane pick for them. I think they can do the same here up against Neon, but with, I think, a little bit more success here, Fnatic. However, Misfits aren't just a bot lane team. XL, you relate to their bot lane more than anything with good jungle. Misfits, I would honestly say, are more of a mid lane team as well as bot lane prowess to carry through late game, whereas Fnatic have struggled with their mid lane, and I think that's going to be a big gap in this matchup that probably will get exploited, although Fnatic I could see pivoting to the top lane and having Wunder decimate. But what is my prediction? I've gone with a 3-2 to Misfits. I think it's going to be close. I dare say Fnatic will have drafted and learnt and prepped exceptionally well, like what they have done against XL last weekend, which was very obvious to know. However, I think Misfits will slightly out-edge them here, and if Fnatic do win, I'm going to be brutally honest, I could see them losing very easily to the Mad Lions in their last game this weekend. Because what you don't realise is whoever wins this faces Mad. And if you don't know already, I can't predict this, but just know I'll probably be going with the Mad Lions, who don't have to study. They get to study both these teams and learn them from watching up against each other. They have that advantage, and I think Mad, who are getting this opportunity and have been the best performing team this split, bar when they faced Rogue in their best of 5, I think they're gonna absolutely wipe the floor with whoever they face. But we can't discuss that yet. Let's move into our last matchup of this video. It's time for the Spring Playoff Finals rematch as Rogue take on G2 in a match that you would think has no real implications, but it does. Win, you're guaranteed a top 2 seed and a spot in the group stage at Worlds. Lose, you have to face off against Mad or whoever beats them. It's a hard position to be, and personally, this matchup sees a lot on the line. I like these two teams, and I'm definitely glad they're representing us at Worlds. The big issue is how these two teams will match up here in summer. G2 and Rogue have faced their troubles during the regular split. Rogue weren't as dominant as what they were in spring during best of ones, and G2, they came off the MSI high they experienced and struggled after a couple of weeks. Now, I'm going to be honest, both teams are showing up here in playoffs, and I'm one of the few people that believed in Rogue to beat Mad. You have to realize that. I'm fully behind this Mad lineup when they faced off against Rogue, but Rogue, they just stepped it up, and you have to look how their jungle and how their bot lane have been playing. Maorang is finding those creative paths. He's getting Comp and Trimby ahead, and Trimby and Comp are stepping up late game. The only player in the LEC right now to have pentakills is the bloody Rogue ADC. He is popping off and honestly should have been All-Pro. That triggers me a lot, and he realistically deserved it. Now here against G2, I think we'll see a lot of attention towards the bot lane. It's got to be a hard contention. I'm not saying it's where I think Rogue will succeed, because Yankos is the crafty old guy who will counteract how Maorang wants to play, but I definitely think what we're going to see is Rogue try and play bot side. They're a comp, or a team I should say, that has set plays, but I think in summer, what we've seen in terms of picks from this bot lane has been very vast, it's been very good, and it's very hard to lock down. It's kind of the Patrick style and upset style of play, where they've expanded their champ pool past, say, a Jinx or an Aphelios from spring. It's more so the Zeri, the Sivir. They'll play. I think Comp will play even enchanters, and also mages in the bot lane. That's how I think this bot lane will be. Whereas G2, they're just so unpredictable with how they play, and they show it. But that's not why we're here. We've broken them down. We've broken how I think the matchup will be pivoted by Rogue. I still feel G2 will play towards mid lane and get caps ahead, though it's going to be quite hard into Larson. I think this matchup's going to be close, and my gut instinct is going to say, and it's unfortunate for me because I want to say Rogue, I think it's going to be G2 3-2. And that's my locked in prediction. It's close, and I like both teams as a whole. As I've said, they're very evenly matched on paper, and I genuinely cannot wait to watch this series on Saturday. But with that predicted and locked in, and the first prediction locked in, there's only one other series that happens this weekend. We can't cover that yet. That will be on Twitter on Saturday night. So thank you very much for joining me for this video. If you have enjoyed my ramblings, leave a goddamn like down below. Subscribe if you want to. And I will see you guys for, if I haven't done it yet, the teamfight breakdown / series breakdown from Fanatic vs XL. Peace out.